What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Team Pizza Plays Renowned Explorers International Society. I, of course, am Whatthefnu.
And I am telling him to ruthlessly acquisition another country.
We might... that might be something we're doing later today. Spoilers for something we might be recording. For now, we're gonna go do a nature challenge on this space, though.
Boo. Wait, are we gonna burn to the ground?
If I sound a little weird today, I'm just warning you guys ahead of time. Like, you might hear a few mouth noises, like me moving my tongue around. It's mostly because I was at Pizza Hut earlier today, and I ate it a little too quickly. So, you know that feeling like a lot of the skin on the top of your mouth has been burned off?
Oh yes, I love that feeling.
That's what I'm going through right now.
Oh, it's okay, I can remedy that. Here's what you do. You get one of those razors that you use to shave your face, right?
Alright.
You put it to the roof of your mouth,
Okay.
and you scrape vigorously. Then you'll be in so much agonizing pain you'll never want to touch the roof of your mouth again.
But how does this fix my problem?
Oh, you wanted me to fix it. Oh. Well, you see, that's where we are going to differ.
Also, since it's the first recording of a new day, I figure I might as well start this off with some pleasant conversation. Anything life-changing happened since the last time we talked?
Oh, yes. So have you seen the prequel films of Star Wars?
Yes, actually. In fact, I saw those before I saw the actual Star Wars movies. You know, as much as people like to shit on those films, those were actually the movies that got me interested in seeing the originals.
Ah, cool. You've actually seen them in the same order I have, truth be told. But I was doing some tinking in regards to said films. So remember when Anakin is burning alive in the lava fields and saying, from his perspective, the Jedi are evil?
Huge spoilers.
Oh, come on, everyone knows Anakin goes to the dark side. Anyone who doesn't must be a total loser. It's okay, I never knew it either. But basically I was doing some thinking, and so the Jedi, actually, when you think about their actions, are kind of more evil than the Sith. Because they're supposed to be monks, you know, akin to holy knights, Shaolin monks, or even nuns, if you will. As such, they're chaste, objective, and, you know, try to avoid all sorts of strong emotion, so they don't, you know, go to the dark side. Which, by the way, has cookies, FYI. And, you know, they took in little Annie when he was 10 or so. And, you know, they normally raise people from birth as Jedi, so they don't have any real attachment. Well, other than the attachment to the Jedi Order and their way of life as Jedi. Just
Yeah, I kind of realized that early on. That's sort of a self-defeating purpose, isn't it?
exactly.
How do you... That's something that always baffled me. I've never been able to wrap my head around the concept of something that has no emotions. Like, people have done the whole, robotic thing about it. Like, you're just completely logical all the time, but even I think that's not 100% accurate.
Exactly. I mean, even the Vulcans, you know, Spock, even they display emotion from time to time. They're just, well, alien, literally. They just
have a different way of going about it.
Exactly. Coming back to it, the Jedi. See, their real life analogs, the monks and all that, they actually console their younger brethren or sisters or something like that. They actually talk with them about these kind of things and actually help them stay on the right path. Instead of, you know, like the Jedi who decide, no emotion, good, the Force. But I'm afraid someone's gonna die. Don't worry, they'll be a part of the Force. They're basically your backup battery. I don't like this. No, that means you're showing attachment. You're not really appreciating the Jedi way of life. They act more like a cult.
In some ways, yes.
As such, when you think about it, Anakin, this child who grew up in slavery, and this child who basically saw his mother die when he went back to see her, and has basically been emotionally repressed, and just ordered around. I mean, when in episode 3 they just tell him what to do. Hey, go spy on Palpatine. But he's my only real friend. Go spy on him. Oh, and Palpatine's like, hey, buddy, what's going on? How's your day? Oh, well, I'm afraid someone might die. Really? Tell me, how does that make you feel? See, he's the first, really the first one to actually address this in a human way of doing so. As such, when you really think about it, from Anakin's perspective, the Jedi really are evil, since they don't actually try to help him.
I'm sorry if the Star Wars talk goes on for a while, guys. It's just, I think it's right around the corner. Like, 7 is almost here. Like, everybody's just... like, I'm not even a movie guy. We've established this, and even I have a bit of... Even I feel like I have an obligation to go see this film.
Even you feel like you must give George Lucas all the money.
No, he doesn't own it anymore. That's the best part. I don't have to feel guilty about this.
I know, right? It feels so good.
Oh, great. Molly is gonna try to go fishing, and it's only a 34% chance. Come on! Oh! Nice. It was basically a 1 out of 3 chance, so I shouldn't be too impressed with that, but...
Well, you see... Impressment, fishing, adventure, a Jedi craves not these things. They don't want to have fun? No, they're total stick in the muds.
I love how we're in the place where you can encounter aliens, and all we're doing is talking about Star Wars.
Exactly! It's a match made in the Force. Oh man, could you imagine having the Force? Your life would be revolutionized. I want that soda. I got my soda. Oh man, that bag of cheese puffs sure is far away. I got it.
Oh, thank goodness. I always get nervous, even on really big rolls in this game. Mostly due to the fact that I've actually failed on a 95% chance before.
Oh no.
So if it's not just 100%, I'm always just sitting here biting my nails. We were talking about this mechanic before, and I think that's something I'd like to do a little more on this channel, if I may go off on a tangent for a second.
Would be the first tangent we've had today.
Well, it's just, you and I are starting a company. Why don't we actually spend some of the time on this channel actually talking about game design? Like, like choosing games for a specific reason. And that reason being that they are kind of interesting.
I would like to talk socioeconomics by playing a Persona game. I mean, that is something I want. That is something I wanted to talk about. How game design and the game. I want to do this. So, let's talk about gambling in games, shall we?
All right.
So,
I mean, that has nothing to do with Renowned Explorers, but sure, let's go ahead.
Oh no, we'll save that for another one. Let's talk about... Oh shit, okay, yeah, you know what? Let's talk about,
Should I start this conversation?
Yes, you actually would be better at starting this than I.
Alright, in that case, I elect that we talk about non-violent games. Like games that allow you to actually resolve conflicts completely peacefully.
Yes, let's talk about circumventing conflict. I like this.
Like, it's something you don't see a whole lot these days. It's why games like this and...
Undertale.
Yeah, and Undertale stand out so much. And it's weird because we're seeing a lot of developers do it around the same time.
And it wouldn't be the first time we've seen it in a game. I know I've seen it in... What's another game I've seen this in? Because there are other games out there where you can just straight up just avoid conflict and just get, for lack of better words, a bare bones minimum ending. I'm trying to think of one. know there's a game either I or we have played where you can just go through the whole game and say, you know what, no, I'm gonna run away, and then boom.
I know Shadow Complex did that.
Yeah.
Where you could just leave in the first 5 minutes and be like, you're a coward, but you got the ending of the game.
Yes. Then you got. Oh hell, you've played Snake Eater, right?
Oh yes, actually.
Yeah, there's actually sort of a big to-do around not killing any of your enemies.
Yes, because of that one boss.
Mm-hmm.
Is that game old enough to where we can talk about that now?
It's in that state where it's old enough that we could talk about it, but at the same time, because a new entry, if it has been made, someone might just have gotten started into it, but you know what, for the sake of the conversation, we should talk about it.
All right.
So, spoilers for Snake Eater, by the way. So there's a boss in the game known as the Sorrow. In life, he was a medium capable of speaking to the spirits who have fallen during a battle on the battlefield to know what's going on. It makes sense, you know, if the enemy's using mustard gas, the dead soldier who died from it can say, yeah, I died from mustard gas, fuck this.
Yeah, so don't go walking in these areas like I did.
Exactly. And
or at least bring some really heavy face gear.
Oh, make it heaviest as possible. Cannot be too heavy. So, during Snake Eater, Snake, or Big Boss, encounters him because he's having a near-death experience. And you don't fight him per se, which goes well with this conversation, so much as you're just walking through a gauntlet of every enemy you have actually killed during the game.
You have to survive, essentially.
Because they do attack you, and it does cause damage.
Yeah, and that actually fits in a game that's all about stealth to begin with, because of the simple fact that you're being punished for taking the violent route.
Yeah.
You're actively having to face a much harder challenge later, depending on how much you, well, screwed up, for lack of a better word, earlier on.
And to make matters strangely worse, the other bosses you fight, die no matter what, even if you just, you tranquilize them and drain their stamina. They die no matter what and show up, but that's neither here nor there. The game doesn't really count that against you. It's the other ones, and they really, hammer it in because the people scream about the pain of having their throats slit and being shot, stuff like that. It's really cool. Haunting, but cool. As such,
that's a reaction that I would only expect from you. I hate to cut you off, but...
No, you're good.
People are dying everywhere, buildings are on fire, babies are crying, but it was actually kind of awesome.
Oh, it was amazing. It's like, dude, you see how bad that guy died? That was awesome. It was pretty metal. Oh, no, it's cool. I'm very flattered by it.
This is another reason I love Anna, because if you place her up against an aggressive team, which Bastet is, we're fighting the Egyptian god of war, by the way, or goddess in this case, I should say.
Ah, we're fighting Kratos.
Kind of. Except not quite as in need of a live journal and a MySpace profile.
Yeah, Kratos is a bit of an emo. But we'll get on him in another. We'll get on him in another conversation.
Will we? Do you think they're actually gonna make God of War 4 one of these days?
They've made so many in-between God of Wars that I'm waiting for a God of War Babies, where Kratos is a little stabby baby.
God of War 3 and 152 over 2 days.
Yep.
God of War Recoded.
God of War Redacted.
God of War 2.5 Final Mix.
God of War Yellow version. Kratos discovers his super bestest friend, Pikachu. No, Pikazeus. Zeusachu. Yeah, Zeusachu. And he has to go the entire game without killing Zeusachu.
That would be a very different first episode. Oh, this has actually never happened to me before. Last time I made it out of the pyramid, but now we're trapped. You almost made it out while leaving spoils behind, but the entrance collapsed in front of you. Maria's starting to panic. Are you stuck here for the rest of your life? That's when a huge steam drill opens the entrance. Oh, hello. Don't you know this place isn't safe for amateurs? Oh, great. I'm here to investigate a sinister group called the Anti-Explorers. Have you seen anything? No. Alright, they pose a threat to all of us. Now, that's a thing that may or may not affect future adventures. I just want to throw that out there. You may or may not come across the Anti-Explorers again. You do have a chance of encountering them here, though. And the conversation there changes slightly if you have. Like that encounter we had with the British gentleman and his group of lackeys that we had to face without Anna. That could have gone very differently.
The Anti-Explorers, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another concept I like in video games.
Anti-characters?
Yeah, the boss is just you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
just dark sides in general. Sort of like
yeah.
Link's shadow.
Yeah.
Or, this isn't exactly an opponent you fight, per se. Like, you never... I don't know, actually. Would Riku be considered a dark Sora? At least in the first Kingdom Hearts?
If he's an anti-Sora, I mean...
Here we go. We just unlocked Anna's best ability, Strike of Fear, which, basically it's a line attack that stuns any enemy it hits, so they will be completely incapable of doing anything.
Strike of Fear, you say?
Yes.
Does it attack the hearts of mortal men?
One would assume so.
Good, good. Now let's take this to the kindergarten.
+1. There we go. Completing all research in this project will unlock all scientists gain an extra trinket slot. That's something I should take care of, actually. Some of the item shops. We've got enough extra renown. I think we can upgrade this one too. I've never seen what happens when you start upgrading some of the other shops other than the first one. And it looks like it was worth our time, because we just found some incredibly good items. Alright, I discovered this on my first playthrough. There are things here like the Book of Horrors, and because we upgraded it, now we've got the Master Book of Horrors and the Legendary Book of Horrors.
I am intrigued in every regard. Tell me about this Book of Horrors.
What it does, and it especially works for the team of scary ladies that we've put together, but
yes,
increases the power of Terrify and Try to Terrify by plus 20%. Or wait a minute. Books. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, okay, so it increases the power of those specific abilities. So we could actually give that to Anna, and now she will be, no doubt, the most powerful speech crafter in our team. Like, hands down, she'll outclass Maria in terms of damage she'll be doing. I've also seen gloves in the other shop that you can unlock that increase the amount of damage you do against enemies who are already terrified.
It's like I'm so scared. Want to see my rubber glove? Now I'm really scared. Where was I? Oh, didn't know. Oh shit! I can't believe another game where you can forego conflict, and reach the end of the game. In a way, have you ever played Chrono Trigger?
Yes. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, too.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger. Spoilers, by the way. You can reach Chrono Trigger's boss at the start of the game, basically. Well, near the very start of the game. It's just that the
Don't you have to beat the game legitimately first, though? And you unlock the ability to do this?
I think so. I have to check that again. Because I know you can just go and fight Lavos very early on. It's just that Lavos is the last boss in the game, and this game is about time travel. So if you decide to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna try to fight Lavos, I'm gonna circumvent everything, and just try to fight him now, he will wipe the floor with you. And because he's beaten you, it's like the future refused to change.
Yeah.
So
That's
so
where
it's,
that line comes from, isn't it? That very game.
oh yes, and I really like that concept. I really like that because again, it goes with it's the game justifying an action by the player. Like, okay, they tried to be idiots and fight the last boss. Okay, the last boss won. The future refused to change. That's how that time. That's how that went.
Good job breaking it, hero, right?
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, that's another example. I mean, also Chrono Trigger has one of the best grinding systems I've seen in that if you just fight every enemy you encounter along the way to the boss, you will be strong enough to fight the boss.
Yeah, it's
really
one of those games that actually gets grinding right.
Exactly. Because on one hand, I completely agree with you that grinding is a nice meditative activity to, just sit back and,
But at the same time, not everybody wants that out of a video game.
Exactly. In fact, Pokemon, fun games, beloved by all.
But trying to get a team of 100 level creatures is a bitch.
Especially in the earliest editions that were released in Japan. Grinding, if you think grinding now is slow, those versions grinding was like 4 times slower. It was the worst. From what I've seen, I haven't actually played those versions, but I did play the originals, and while grinding was fun for the first few towns, when you needed to be strong enough to fight the Elite Four, it was like,
yeah, you're just sitting there like, I'm done with this.
I'm done. I got my Charizard. Team Rocket can conquer the world. I don't care. I'm just gonna sit here.
I've actually got a question about that. Did you ever subscribe to what I call the Bulbasaur strategy, where you just leveled up one creature and took him through the whole game?
Yep.
I talked about this before in some of the old Let's Plays, but Pokemon kind of bugged me back in the day because of what I call the Bulbasaur strategy. Because, let's face it, back in the beginning, Bulbasaur was the absolute best starter.
Exactly. You could mop the floor with Brock. Misty was a breeze, and hell, Lieutenant Surge could.
Yeah,
shit.
you were resistant to Lieutenant Surge. By the time you got to Erica, you just body slam everything to death.
Yeah, and hell, I'm sure you could learn some fighting moves because then you could just screw over Koga.
All right, we actually don't have a perfect choice for our next destination on the map here. We could go to the Globus Cruciger, which there's some very interesting stories to be told here, or we could go to the Emerged Island, which is actually a really good, for reasons I'm not going to spoil, is a really good place to go for a speech-based team. But I'm not going to spoil the reasons why. I already said that. I don't know why I'm saying it again.
Or we can go to Molly Mystery.
I mean, technically we're powerful enough to do it now?
Mm-hmm.
But we wouldn't be able... There's no point even, because we wouldn't even be able to get all the treasures, because we're not taking a friendly approach.
Well, you see, you sound like a total coward.
At least I'm a smart one. Alright, next time, we're going to be heading to the Emerged Island. Until then, I'm Whatthefnu.
Play fucking Molly Mystery.
And we'll see you again next time. Later, everybody.
Play it.